Hello, everyone. Please type yes in the chat box if you can hear me well.
Yes, you can hear.
Okay, great. We will start in 2 minutes. Also, please, Engineer Mohammed, can you check your voice, please? Because I think it's still low. I don't know if
Can
the
you hear me
problem is
now?
from my side. Yes, it's perfect now.
Okay. Okay, good.
Okay, I think it's time to start now. Hello, everyone. This is Adel Tahir, OPA Business Developer. I would like to welcome you for attending today's webinar titled Well Optimization Workflow using OFM, presented by our special speaker, Engineer Mohammed Dalag. He is a senior global domain expert with Sensia. He has been working as a reservoir and production engineer from February 1997 until now with Schlumberger, with more than 27 years of experience in upstream oil and gas projects. He is the OFM software champion in Sensia. He has contributed to Sensia and SLB solutions projects worldwide and has led the development and deployment of technologies for quickly and cost-effectively analyzing reservoir using SIS software and other softwares. He is a certified NEXT instructor and expert in reservoir engineering consultancy projects. He applied water flooding, water encroachments, workover candidate, and infill drilling workflow studies. He has also implemented the reservoir surveillance system in real-time environments in Saudi Aramco, Kuwait Oil Company. He has published a lot of SPE papers and was awarded the best SPE paper, third place from the Saudi Aramco Journal of Technology in summer 2008. Such a great profile, but before we jump into our session, I'll make a small presentation about OPA upcoming services and plans. Here's our 11th wave of live courses. We have 6 courses: Analytics and Machine Learning, Sucker Road, MPAL, Process Safety Management, Practical Reservoir Simulation, Polymer Injection Modeling. Our live courses features that they are interactive sessions. You will have lifetime access for course recordings, technical group for course discussions, and online credential verification. Here is the calendar of our 11th wave. We have conducted 3 courses, which are Analytics and Sucker Road and Process Safety Management. Yet, there are 3 more courses to be conducted in this month, on September, starting from Polymer Injection Modeling on 7th of September, a Practical Reservoir Simulation on 14th, and MPAL Best Practice in 21st. You can scan this QR code to register in our upcoming courses. Not only this, but you will have a reservoir engineering bundle discount. You can get 2 courses and get the third course for free. So if you enrolled in polymer injection modeling and practical reservoir simulation, you will get the third course, which is MPAL Best Practice, for free. So the course price is 120 and 100 for OPA ambassadors. We will know later what is OPA ambassadors. We also have our recorded courses, which was live courses, then converted to be and recorded and available for recorded courses sales. We have more than 35 courses in reservoir engineering, G&G, production technology, reg and regless, and miscellaneous bundle. You can also scan this QR code to register. Here is one of our services, which is OPA mentorship program. It's a one-to-one mentoring session by highly experienced mentors, tailored based on the needs of the mentee. The requests can include guiding on personal data of the mentee, professional guiding for PhD and master, practicing on how to produce output results from a software, explaining the know-how of a software. We have completed more than 45 mentorship programs with more than 900 learning hours, and the mentees were from more than different 8 countries. You can also scan this QR code to register in our mentorship program. Here's a glance of our OPA website where you can access all of our services, whether they are live courses, recorded courses, mentorship program, or even apply for internship programs. Everything is there on the website. So make sure you visit it. It's www.opacourses.com. So finally, how to be an OPA ambassador. You will have 2 tracks to join our community. The first one is to take 1 or more courses or just take a mentorship program. So you may be asking yourself now, what will I get from being an OPA ambassador? You will get discounts on all our courses and group discounts when you invite your friends with you. Thank you for listening, and now it's time for our session. Engineer Muhammad, you can share your presentation now, and the mic is yours.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Hamid. Let me start to share my screen. Okay. So today we'll talk about we have a new release of OFM. If you know, OFM is Oil Field Manager, a surveillance tool by Schlumberger. We have thousands of users worldwide. Most of them, all major companies, they are using it. It's become like a standard tool for any petroleum engineer, right? Today we'll talk one of the solutions. I have 23 solutions, and we can arrange for many sessions. Today we'll talk about the smart workover system, how we can logically design a workflow that can help us to optimize production based on a workover plan, right? And we will go through these steps one by one. And I want this to be an interactive workshop. It's kind of workshop, a quick workshop. So please, if you have questions, you can just open the mic and ask. You don't have to wait until the end of the session because I need this to be interactive. But for long questions, we can leave it at the end. Okay, very good. Now, I'm working in Schlumberger in a segment called Sensia. So Schlumberger is a new company with Rockwell Automation. And Sensia is focused now on digital oil fields automations. We have 3 platforms. We have OFM, Opposite, and Avalon. With these 3 platforms, we start with the OFM, which is a surveillance tool. Opposite is the production data management system, and Avalon is a SCADA-like system. Today we'll focus only on OFM and our vision and OFM, if you know it. Just to give a quick summary before I start with the solution. OFM is a tool that can be used to visualize the data from the well level. For example, you can create a type curve, a percentile curves, normalized, and then you can also create something called the hydrology index dashboard. You can have it oil versus water, or you can have it pressure versus liquid. You can do channel diagnostic plots dashboard. You can do water cut versus time dashboard. You can calculate the reserve, do forecasting, estimate the ultimate recovery. Also, dashboard, there is a dashboard for that. And OFM is the best tool worldwide in doing the forecasting and time curve analysis. You can also for injectors, you can do a lot of things. You can do whole blood, you can do efficiency. You start to check and then find workovers, find the how can you optimize your injection, how can you do water flooding, okay? So from one level, you can do all of these. Then we can do from reservoir level, you can do area trend analysis. Like you can do isobaric maps, you can do depletion maps, you can do oil, water encroachment, structure maps, everything related to maps. Either if it has a time related, if it's time related, you can animate. If it's a static, like a structure maps, or you can add also the faults. You can have it in top of GIS. You can also create maps for petrophysical data, calculate the volumetric oil in place easily, right? All of these are digitally can be created using algorithms exactly like Betrel. We have different algorithms and you can easily also exchange the data between any simulator and OFM. And also from the field level, reservoir level, bottom levels, we can do a data mechanism. We can estimate or we can find the driving mechanism of the field, the average pressure, recovery factor distribution, oil water contacts. All of these can be visualized, can do analysis, even we can make decisions using these different levels, right? Today we'll focus more on forecasting. And forecasting in OFM, it's a very now very powerful. It has automation, it has a trend analysis, it can detect the last segment after last workover, it can do clean the data automatically. And we will use this to calculate the gain of oil after the workover. How can we estimate when should we do the workover and what will be the decline at after workover? This is including all type of wells, right? Either it has artificial lift or without artificial lift, right? And this is like state-of-art way of doing forecasting. This is part of our workflow. Very good. So just to explain the dashboard that we will create now, the concept of the dashboard in OFM, it's interactive and dynamic dashboard you can use to visualize any parameter, either area-wise, history-wise, or depth-wise. You can see, for example, here we have a button. We color code each button based on a parameter here, which is a VRR, voidage replacement ratio, and we can animate it. This dashboard is a one piece. So if you zoom, everything will be zoomed. If you, for example, let me just show you here. For example, if you zoom in this area, everything will be zoomed. If you zoomed in this plot, everything will be zoomed. If we select well here, then you get a plot for this well. If you select an area, you'll get a plot of the area. Same. So it's interactive dashboard, and it has now we can publish it in the web. So it's cloud-based. In the next release, you can have this in OFM. Then you can publish it in the cloud and share it with your team. Very good. Another example is showing a benchmarking dashboard where I have the 3 operators and I'm showing the cumulative production and I'm showing number of wells. I'm showing also the ranking of those 3 operators. And I am also in the ranking, I'm dividing each rank based on the groups and this group based on lateral length. And then I have the scatter plot, which is the new now in OFM. This is like a machine learning, which will go and cluster the data or cluster. These are the wells, right? Distributed. And I'm using here 7 parameters to see the effect of those parameters on my wells. So I have here 1 parameter in the Y and the X, which is the lateral length. I have here in the Y, the best production, the size of the well here showing the gas, the color showing water cut, and the shape is showing reservoir. And then you can see that the system automatically will cluster this data. It will create a model and create equations, and then you can use it to estimate and then use it for either forecasting or to show the performance or to sort. I can divide this to different quarters, and then I can see those wells, they have high lateral length, and then high production. These wells here, we have high lateral length and low production. These wells here, they have lower lateral length and high production. Here we have lower lateral length and lower production. And then you can find the relation, why you have these different effects. Of course, we have also the size showing the gas, the color is showing water cut. And then the good thing about this dashboard, if I click in a well here, then automatically it will show me the location of the well here. If I click on this curve, it will show me all the wells belong to the curve, right? So this is one of the dashboards we use for benchmarking. I'm just give you an idea of what we call an OFM a dashboard, right? And then another dashboard here to showing the well review dashboard where I can here put all my wells again in scatter plot, and then if I click on the well here, it will show me a plot that shows all the intervention happened to this well in the past and in the future. And you can see here we have alarm system. It will highlight all the wells. It could be one well here down, or I can have all the wells that you have a problems. And automatically it will show the well name, and it will show the problem of that well and what happened. And then I can click in the well, and it will show the history using, and I can attach a document also to each event. This is, we call it like a well review dashboard. Another dashboard, for example, here it shows a report, a smart report, where I can color code the cells based on conditions. This could be a logic, could be another category, it could be another variable. And then you can see here, it's a compliance report, and it shows if I am over in producing or under producing, and automatically it will color the cell, and I put like a percent. If it's 20% above the target or below, then it will make it a red. Then I click on the well in the report here, and it show me the well, show me the target, and show me the forecast and the actual production. Okay, so it's interactive, and this could be just example, but we can combine all of these together in one big dashboard. Another one here showing the producers and the injectors, same thing. Here I'm showing my injectors, and it shows the whole plot, and I'm reading the slope of each line and create a bubble map, and these bubbles represent the slopes of the plot. And you can see here, all these bubbles represent these wells or hub plot with the high resistance, and you can see them, they are located in one area, right? So there's a relation between the geology and the slope of the whole plot. So then I can bring the variability map, and yes, you can see here where I have a super K, I am losing my water. Here where I have low variability, I have a big resistance from my well injectors. Then I can also put formation damage index, skin damage, and then I find the candidates for workover for my injectors. So it's a very good dashboard that can relate the efficiency of your injection to the geology of the area, right? And then we can have a big dashboard that can include my selection for the candidates for workover, right? You can see here I have a map. It has 7 layers and shows here the current status of the well. Like I can put it as water encroachment. So I'm putting here the water cut status. So it shows here last week or last month, is it very high, low, medium, and then the contribute, how much we have oil and water in that well, and also a grid map showing the direction and the water encroachment between the wells, right? And then the drainage radius or the spacing. And then if I click on this well, for example, which is a very high water cut well, you can see it will bring the plot, and it shows here, yes, there's a jump in water, there's a breakthrough, right? And then you can see the jump here, I can flag it, and then I can show the report of that. Automatically it will show the report. It will automatically show the well in the ranking, and it automatically show the Chan diagnostic plot to understand what kind of encroachment or what kind of problem I have. So I will decide about the workover. Here it shows, is it coning, is it leaking, is it channeling, right? We will see this in the next slide. So, and as I told you, we have 23 standard. We have a library now in OFM solutions package that we can give to you with the software. And these solutions, we try to standardize all the solutions that we provide to all our clients worldwide. And today I will start with you with the first solution, which is called Smart Workover System. These are my papers I published related to this subject, right? All of these papers I did with the major oil companies related to finding the candidates for acidizing and for water encroachment issues, right? I can share, I will give you my contacts. I can share with you the physical paper or the number of the paper if you want. Very good. So when we start, first we start to gather the data. We do a QC with the data. We have 86 logics to do a basic QC and advanced QC on the data, right? Then we do mapping and visualization. And then we do this dashboard to find the candidates and the final ranking. And then we integrate this with our surveillance system. And then we can keep training OFM. So the results you get, you can feed it back to OFM. You can use artificial intelligence. You can use the machine learning algorithms to help OFM improve your decision, right? And I will show some good examples. So this is the structure that we usually give to our clients. We have a database or a data integration. Opposite is our standard tool for data management, for production data management. You can link all your Excel sheets. You can link other database. And this Avalon is our SCADA-like system, real-time data. So you can connect this to Opposite, and then you connect to OFM, and then OFM can do the screening for your wells. It can do recommendations for workover, and then it will calculate the gain of oil, and then how much you can minimize the cost and optimize the production. Also, it will give you all the risks. So this is what we call the workflow, right? And then you will do this dashboard for data analytics, right? This dashboard I will show you now, and you can link this with the Bitrel. If you want to include your forecasted data from Bitrel with your data analytics, that will give you another power to really give you either a guidelines or to check how your selection based on a model, right? And you can use, as I told you, Python scripts to do artificial intelligence or R, right? We have this already now with this release. Very good. So we will start now to find which well, when the well will die, and how can we treat this well, right? So you will do this for every well you have in your company. If you have 100, then you do this in every 100 and screening first for all these wells to find the candidates. And once you screen, then you do some forecasting to see which well will die first. And then after you find this final list, then you will try to understand how the water or the skin damage or reservoir quality is affecting your well to decide about which workover you should do. So we will know which, how, and when. And then you can publish it in a final dashboard that can be shared with all the company. All of this online, so you don't have to copy paste. You do this automatic, and then it will be published in the shared master OFM project, and then everybody can visualize. Very good. So this is the 86 logics that we have for this workflow. And all these will go with every single data type. And I try to do a basic QC, and we do advanced. We try to bring two data types and try to understand the relations. And this is a very critical in the workflow. The best thing you could do in any workflow is to make sure that your data is clean and makes sense, right? So this is, and we have a training for this that we can show you the logics, or when we start a project with you, we can share with you those logics, right? It could be your own, or we can propose. We have a standard way of QCing all different types of data. Then we try to, the first thing you do after you QC your data, we try to get familiar with the field. So we can see the open hole logs digitally. You can see your markers. You can see the lithology. You can see the curves. You can have a wellbore diagram. You can have a cross section. You do a bubble map for all your fields just to get familiar. about the field and what kind of field you have, right? And then you do a sequence of dashboards, and this dashboard, it will help you to find one, the candidates, to know which when the well will stop, it will stop producing if you have any reservoir constraints or facility constraints. And then third one is to identify what kind of water encroachment or reservoir quality issue you have for that well to decide what kind of workover you should do. And finally, four is you have the final ranking. And this is a systemic way of doing this. If you go to any oil company and ask for a candidate for workover, you will get different lists. But if you use this logic or this systemic approach, you will get the same list anytime. Or if you give it to 100 engineers, they will come up with the same list. Of course, then you have to do some tune it, like using your own knowledge, but at least it will minimize the time that we do manually to find those words, right? So we come up with a draft with the first list, and this list can be also, we can do further studies to really tune it and come up with the final one. Very good. So first one, and I will show you this live. Here I have a video, but when I open OFM, I can show you this. So this one, I'm getting now all my wells. If I have 100 wells, and I have this dashboard, it has four things. First, a scatter plot about the oil rate. Second, scatter plot about oil cumes and water, of course, and then ranking and water encroachment map. And then you can see finally, I have here those wells with the high in this corner or this quarter, all the wells with the above average of oil rate. It means those wells are producing above average. It could be the average, could be daily, could be weekly, could be monthly, but these wells are producing above average in oil. Same time, they have water above average. So they are good producers, but they have some issues with water, right? And these my candidates now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the sequence that I should use to improve or to optimize, I should start with this well. This well is first, then second, third, fourth, and fifth. If I do in this sequence, I will optimize my production. So what will happen? If I treat this well, it will go down here, and it will have the highest oil and low, and then low water. If I treat this well, it will come here, right? And these the only 5 among my wells that can give me the maximum production if I do work over on them. Other wells, they will not do that, right? Is it clear? Now these wells, I can do further analysis by, if I click on them, they will be highlighted in the cume, oil and cume water. The cume will give you a trend. So you can see those 5 wells. You can see the performance of the wells during the history. This one, you see, it has some water encroachment. We did a workover on this well. It improved, but again, go back to the same thing. Here, there is a workover, and it's a water encroachment here, and then go back. So I can check the performance of each of these wells that I selected, right? And then I can find them in the ranking, right? And I can animate to see history-wise how this was behaving compared to other wells. And I can see their location in the map. They are in the middle, they are in the edge, right? To understand more about this. So this is the first dashboard that I will use to find my candidates for water encroachment. Any question about this? I will show you this live with some real data from a real field that we use usually for training. Okay, very good. So now you can see I run this one. Then another one, it shows here wells candidates for acidizing. And I'm showing here the formation damage index, which is defined as the oil rate divided by KH, and that will give you how the damage of your well. If you have a very high formation damage, it's a good. If you have low, that means you have a problem with the well. And this is the equation we use. I have paper on this. I can share with you the paper. But at the end of this, I can have a final report, and this report will list for me all the wells that I should do acidizing on them to maximize my production. Here we have the formation damage, the skin damage distribution in my field, and I can see it area-wise, can see it history-wise, and I can also report it, right? So this is two kinds of candidates I have now. And again, we have a 5 days course that we go through this in details. And then we have, this is just to show you some examples of the dashboard, but we have a lot of dashboard that we can go in details. We check many things like the logs. We check also the markers. We check a lot of things to really come up with the best candidates that we should have, right? Here I'm just giving you a quick overview of how to do that. Okay, good. So now I find those wells that I should do work over on them for water issues, water encroachment, and those also wells that I should do acidizing based on skin damage or reservoir quality. Very good. So now let's go to the second. Now I will do more also analysis. I will bring the wells again, and I will do something called a hydrogenicity index, which is a scatter plot but normalized, where I can see how the well is behaving from day one and how the water was getting to that well, right? And that will help me with the Chan diagnostic plot to understand what kind of water encroachment. Now, I have now a list, and this list, it will give me a report, and will give me this well listed according to the rate of the well, right? So I can see which well will give me the highest oil. But there is another factor that we have also to think about is when the well will stop producing because of the reservoir constraints and facility constraints. So here we add 4 things. We add the water cut as a threshold, we add the gas oil ratio, and we add the bubble point pressure, and also we add also the condensate for that. So this is it will stop. So here you can see this well, what we did in this forecast, and we call it a smart forecast. We select the last workover here, and then we select only, this can be done automatically. We select only this trend after the workover, and we clean the data by using something called the composite interval. So we removed all the points above and below this trend by 30%, for example. And then we'll do automatically the forecast, and we will stop here, not because we reach the economical rate, because we have to set in advance my threshold. So I put here the water cut, 90%, and it will stop when it will reach this water cut, automatic, right? So the system will tell me I will stop oil for your best candidate for oil. I will stop here because here I am reaching my water cut limit, right? And then automatically it will calculate the gain of oil, either from the history of this well, the history of the offset, or using a type curve or type well. And then it will continue, and then it will reach another constraint, which is another water cut limit, and then continue on another one, until we get the last drop of this well. So the second thing we have to do is we estimate when the well will die or when the well will stop. So this is a practical way. We don't just forecast with economical rate. No, we try to estimate when should we do our workover here, not based on the highest rate, but based on when the well will stop, right? Because now if I have the third well will stop after 3 months or will be dying in the first one, then we will change the sorting because it will get high priority now, right? And we do this for all the wells. And then we save it in the system. And this is example of water cut, but I can also get the gas oil ratio. I can get the bubble. And one of the scenarios we did for one major company, by doing this, we increased the production by 120,000 barrels per day without drilling a single well, just by optimizing the ECP wells to do the right forecasting. Because the problem that time was those ECP wells, they have to trip the well because the gas, when you get close to the bubble point pressure, you will get a lot of gas and then you have to trip the well. We did a good forecasting. We estimate the bubble point pressure based on the PVT correlations and PVT test lab data. And then we did a forecast, a very nice smart forecast. And then we optimized the production by 120,000 barrels per day extra, right? So the difference is huge because we have a room to optimize if you do really a good forecasting, right? If you include reservoir insights with the production operation insights, you put them in one workflow, both the reservoir engineer and production engineer, they can work together to optimize the whole process. So this workflow is shared between a production engineer and reservoir engineers, and both they can see the same insights, right, to optimize the whole workflow. Very good. So now we know when the well will die based on reservoir constraint and based on the facility constraints. Now, the third step is I will take each well now and we do something called Chan diagnostic plots. And I have a paper, I modified Chan. I have also a patent on this to include other parameters on Chan, like we can include the PLT logs to improve the Chan diagnostic plots. We have something called multi-segment Chan, and I can share with you the papers. But the idea here, the objective is to find, is my well having a coning, channeling, leak, multi things of these? And if you decide from the signature, because Chan published a paper, he collected thousands of wells and he put the water oil ratio with the derivative of water oil ratio time lapse, and he found that all the coning, all the wells would have a coning phenomena. They have the same signature. All the wells, they have a leak phenomena, they have the same signature, and he published his paper. This is the paper, 30775. And then we plot in OFM the signature, and in the next version we try to match automatically, but now you match it, and then you decide what kind of problem that you have in your well. And after you decide, you put the wells, you label them according to the Chan results, and then you do further study. You do the time breakthrough, water breakthrough, and you do more analysis to understand or to confirm whatever results you get from Chan. Excellent. So now we finished from step 1 and step 2, step 3. Now we are ready for the final. So this is the final dashboard, and it shows here your field. For example, here the field declining, and we are here today. This is today. And you can see number of wells drilled. See this number of wells drilled up to today. Now, we have two scenarios. Do nothing scenario and work over scenario. So if you do nothing, what will happen? So here I have 57 wells or 37 wells, 57 wells. If I do nothing to my wells, then I will produce this much. But the problem is I will start to lose my wells because either the water cut, gas oil ratio, bubble point pressure, but I have to close those wells because I reach my the limit, or I reach practically the constraints of my reservoir. So this is how much wells I will lose if I do nothing. The other scenario, which is the optimized scenario based on the things I showed you, this is the one for the first workover for each well, then I will manage to save these wells. If I do a second workover, then it will be like this. Third workover, fourth workover, and then I can show you if you do all workovers until the last drop of oil, how much you can gain and how much would you can save. course, this is without water flooding. If you do water flooding, then you increase this. You do steam injection, you get this. You get polymer, whatever. But this is just normal. This is with just doing a workover, right? And you can see the rank of wells here. And this ranks the combination of all the factors we talked about. The highest rate, the time to die, and the chance, right? And then you can see how much you get if you do nothing, this, and how much you gain if you do a workover. And this will link it to BEEP or link it to economical package. Then it will calculate the cost, and then it will give you how much you can get money-wise based on the investment that you have, right? So this is the final dashboard. Now this, in the next release, we can publish it in the cloud. So all this dashboard, you can see them, you can animate, you can filter from the web browser, right? You don't have to have OFM to run these dashboards I just showed you. And this is our plan for the next releases. OFM will be completely in the cloud, but now we are doing it by phases. I will share with you the slides, right? If you send me your email, and I can myself or the team here, I can share with you the slide to show. This is our technical support emails and website. And this is our training we are providing. We have a basic training, advanced training, and also we have something called reservoir optimization training, which shows this candidate selection. You can give your idea through this link to improve OFM. Also, now I'll go to the live demo. Of course, we have online help and other things, but now let me go to the live demo and I will show you this with the project that I have. Okay, give me 1 second. So this is a project you can see here. I have all these wells. I have something like 106 wells. And this is the OFM. And this is the new OFM. You can see we have this dashboard. This is the components that you can use to create a dashboard. So you can click here and you can create a base map. It's showing a satellite image. And then you can see your wells here. And then you can have different maps. You can have the streets. You can have the structure maps. It's very powerful. And then you can add different components to dashboard. So this dashboard here, I can add all the different components in one dashboard. But now, this is not really training for OFM. I will just close this and I will go to my project and I'll start with the first one, which is to identify which well is good for my workover, right? So I have this dashboard. I will just enlarge it here. I can take it to another screen. And this dashboard, you can see, I can start from day one. And it will show me how my well is behaving with time, either as a water encroachment map down, or as an oil rate, or a Q or ranking, right? And based on the resolution, you can make this large, but I will make it very fast just to show you the final results. So the final results, and I can highlight this. I can click on the well here with the shift key. It will show me here in the ranking. I can select the second one. And you can see the second one is here. If I have here the control, I can select all of them. So these are my candidates for my workover. These are my 5 wells, right? So you can see I select them, get highlighted here, and get highlighted here, right? And you can see these are the performance of each well as I showed you. And then after I finish this one, I will go to my second dashboard, which is, it will show me now this is a which well. Then I will go now and select when the well will die, right? So I will have these 2 lines. This is the showing. You can see here, I'm selecting this segment. I have here a confidence interval of 30%. It will clean the anomalies and it will do this forecast. It will do the water cut forecast automatically, and then it will stop when it reach the water cut limit, right? This one could be gas oil ratio, could be bubble point pressure, whatever you want with the oil, right? So the oil here, it will stop, see, not because it reached the economical rate, because you can see the rate here is above 10, but because it reached the water cut limit. And here I can identify my water cut limit, either 90% or whatever, right? So here you can see the end ratio is 87. So I can change this, right? I can come here and I change the limit. I can edit and I can say my limit is 99%, whatever limit you put for your water cut. And then you come to the oil here and you say, you stop the forecast of oil based on water cut, or based on gas oil ratio, or based on gas, or based on water, whatever, right? And then automatically it will stop. And you put the economical rate, you put here also the timing, how many months, how many years, you put the economical rate, you put the other phase. You can have different phases, right? Multi-phase. And the system will stop the oil because of these three things, either by time or by economical rate or by another phase or different phases, like based on water cut, gas oil ratio, or pressure. And this is using ARPS equations. You can use DUNC for unconventional, right? This is for conventional wells. You can also choose your confidence interval 30%. It will clean the data by 30% confidence interval. You can select the last workover from here, and you can. So it's a very, very flexible. There's a lot of details here for forecasting, but we are using something called a smart forecasting. And the good thing is we can do it in auto mode. So you can go to the OFM here, then you go to something called forecast manager, and then you say, show me run auto forecast for workover, default scenario for completion level, and do it for oil. Of course, the oil here is including the water cut limit. You can do it for all phases. If you say finish and you say run, then automatically the system will do that for you. Now I'm doing it for 106 wells. So what will do automatically, it will do the forecast of oil, will take care of the water cut, take care of the gas oil ratio, take care of the bubble point pressure, and tell me when the well will die and how much gain of oil I can have. This is the first workover. I can do the second workover, third workover, until the last drop of oil, right? So this is actually the right reserve. So if you want to get the right reserve, you have to do all the workovers in the future that can help to increase and maximize your production. Again, this is the optimum way. What I'm doing now is based on the logics, right? Of course, you can tune it, but if this run by 100 engineers, they will get the same results, the same ranking. You can see here, I have all the wells now done. I can run here a detailed report to show me why it was stopped. As you see here, it's called schedule loss, stopped because of water, because of oil, because of gas. And then I can have everything. You can have my name, how much reserve, how much oil I can have from this well, all these details using a workover scenario. Is it clear, ya shabab? So now I know which well and I know when the well will die. So what's next is to do channel diagnostic plots to understand how the well will behave because of that water coming to that well, right? And you can see now for each well, I will do this and I will save it in the map, right? So it will do now for each well, I run this. And then let me also run for you another project to show I have a bigger project. Let me open it. This one has only 100, but let me, 1 second. I will leave 5 minutes or maybe after to really discuss. So let me choose. Yeah, this one. This is the water flood project, but we have the same approach to improve the water cut for the well level. So here I'm just showing you the hydrology index because I showed to you earlier in my slides. You can see now I have all the wells here, and then I can see from day one I can make this heterogeneity index, and you can see how the wells are behaving according to heterogeneity index. Here I have a line with 0, anything positive above average, anything negative is below average. And here's the bubble changing and the plot. Let me move it fast. So my candidates are these wells here. I click in the shift key, then you can see the plot for each well, right? And I can see also, I can select them all with the key, which is my candidates for workover, right? I can see the location, I can see the plot. This is my worst well. I can select it here. Show me here. You can see here I have a lot of water. And actually, these are some quality issues. You can see a lot of water coming. This is my best well. It has low water and high oil. So I can, it's a dynamic dashboard where I can select, but this is called the heterogeneity index, right? And then we have also here, we have the Chan diagnostic plots again, as I told you. And this is the Chan results, Chan paper. Then I compare my well to this signature to understand what kind of issues I have, right? And then we do something called after before comparison, ABC, to see how fast is the water moving to my well. So this ABC which will measure the rate of encroachment, right? And then we have here for injectors, for workover for injectors, we have, as I told you, the whole plot, and we have geological data which shows either variability or skin damage. So even for injectors, we can recommend what kind of workover we should do. This is the whole plot. And you can see here, I can come here and say, show me only injectors, type only injectors. You can see my injectors here. And in the background, I have the variability or the skin damage. And then I can see the effect. Can select the line here with the shift key, and it show me the bubble for this line. See, this is the big bubble, which is a very high slope here. So this will have a very high resistance, and it has a maybe in the background a low variability or a big skin damage, right? So this is for injectors, but at the end we will have this thing, which is it will show you the final ranking and the two. This is the final. Let me show you in the project later. So this is the first or the final ranking. Here, if I say all the wells, then it will bring here. You can see here I have. You can see here I have here one line to show how many wells I will save, and this will show you now how much I will gain, and this is the final ranking, right? So this is end my presentation. If you have any question, I will open now. I will open time for questions. So please, of course, this is, as I told you, is a 5 days training we give in Schlumberger and Cynthia. And in this training, it's not only finding candidates, but also we do infill drilling. We do, we call it reservoir optimization, where we go through different workflows, try to optimize the whole production of the reservoir. It's like field development plan using data analytics. Okay, any question? Any question? You can type in the chat or you can ask me. Any question, Shabab? Okay, So if you have no question, thank you so much. And we will have more sessions. As I told you, we have 23 solutions. We have, and then we will here we'll talk with the team here to schedule those solutions, right? Maybe every week or every month we will have one. Thank you so much.